This morning, we're tackling student loan debt. The cost of college has reached a new milestone, over $1 trillion, crippling students and their future. Well, yesterday on Good Day, we met Danielle Brown, a college sophomore who's already facing $18,000 in student loans. Once she receives her bachelor's degree, she'll go back to school to receive a degree in stenography, leaving her with a total of $30,000 in debt. Danielle's story and several others across the country have many asking, is the cost of education costing them their financial future? Well, joining me this morning to offer some insight and advice, financial advisor Geroge Jameson of Disciplined Financial Management. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Well, it's great to be here, Janet.
And some great information you have for us, because there's so many students out there, and you hear that number, $1 trillion. We know that students are going to leave college with some type of debt, possibly.
Sure.
Talk to those students out there who haven't gone into college yet, who are thinking about it, but numbers like this scare them away. What do you say to those high schoolers, so to speak?
First, Janet, don't assume you have to have a lot of debt when you graduate.
Right.
You can actually have little or no debt, even if you don't have the resources.
Okay.
And there are several ways that I can talk about real quick that you can do. One, you can go to a 2-year tech school.
Okay.
And then transfer to a 4-year college like South Carolina, Clemson.
So maybe not go straight in, that way you can stay a little closer to home too.
That's right, yeah. One option is you can stay at home and live with your parents for a year or two. Maybe not be the most ideal situation, but that is a way to save money.
Yeah, room and board, you're not worried about that. Those meal plans, you're not worried about that.
Yeah,
because you got mom and dad cooking in the house.
You can go to a regional campus nearby and then transfer. Also, a big thing is choose the right college.
Okay, and what do you mean by choosing the right college?
What I mean is choose the one that you can afford. It may not be your dream college, but the cost of college keeps on going up and up, and we have perfectly good universities right here in our state.
Very true. Staying, of course, that in-state tuition versus out-of-state tuition, a lot of times astronomically different.
Sure, sure. And one big key thing is avoid the debt trap.
And what's the debt trap?
And what I mean by that is, it's the notion that I'm going to borrow as much money as I can, as they'll allow me, and I'm going to worry about paying it off when I graduate.
So basically kind of banking on, I'm going to get a job so I'll be able to pay it off.
Sure,
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Don't go in thinking that.
No, in general, don't go in thinking that.
Gotcha. What do you say to that student like Danielle who's in college and she's acquiring this debt and she already has the $18,000, saying she'll have to go back to school, she's going to be at 30. What's something that she can do now?
Well, unfortunately, that's happened a lot, like you mentioned earlier. And the biggest thing is people that are graduated or getting ready to graduate, don't increase your lifestyle too quick.
What do you mean by that?
And that's in general for anyone.
Just like getting stuff you don't really necessarily need.
Yeah, don't buy too big of a house. Don't buy too fancy of a car.
Okay. Gotcha.
Before paying off your debt.
Truth.
Also, don't beat yourself up. You just graduated. Having a college degree, they say on average, you're going to make $1 million more over your lifetime having that degree versus not having a degree.
So
it's still very important to have a college degree these days. And then get focused on your debt. And what I mean by that is, pay attention to the paperwork. Make sure you're paying your highest interest off first.
Okay. I think that's kind of a misconception that some students don't know about.
Yeah, because every loan has a different rate. And you mentioned it in your articles.
Yeah, unsubsidized is like 6.8 and subsidized is 3.4.
3.4, okay, yeah.
So for a student who has both, they would pay more towards the unsubsidized first.
Yes, and then, definitely.
Gotcha.
And then, also consider consolidation, which is, there's some pros and cons to that. And, if anyone's interested, we could talk about that, or I could send an email about some consolidation options. But also, accelerate your payments if you can, because you are accruing that interest.
How do you accelerate payments? Explain that.
Basically make extra payments.
So not just your scheduled, or not just the minimum. Maybe if you have some extra money you come into in between when your payments are due, go ahead and
help pay off that principal quicker.
Okay.
And really reduce the cost over time.
And Danielle actually mentioned yesterday that her goal is to, whenever she graduates, get a job or enroll in a program that will help her with the debt forgiveness.
So now I was getting ready to mention that. There are different types of jobs, different types of careers. specific
Okay.
for helping pay off the debt. You know, one is working in public service, working for the nonprofit or for the government.
Gotcha.
And they have some programs out there to help pay for it. People in dentistry or medicine, if you work at certain hospitals, they'll have programs for you. And there are some websites out there for each occupation and will help you pay off that debt.
Definitely some great information in there, and as you mentioned about the consolidation, we'll get that information. We'll link you on our website at
great.
WACH.com for that. Any other advice that you have for students out there who are just saying, you know, this college loan debt, it's really a crisis. I mean, they're saying it's a crisis.
And especially with the job market not as good as it used to be.
Right.
I mean, it's always been an issue, but college has gone up, and the jobs or the quality of jobs you're getting today are not as good as they used to be.
But that degree still valuable.
They're very valuable.
All right. Thank you so much, George.
Don't skip out and go into college even if you don't think you can afford it, because there is a way.
Absolutely. George Jameson, thank you from Discipline Financial. Thank you for sitting down with us this morning. We appreciate it. Very crucial information for lots of students out there for sure. Thank you.
Great to be here. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.